You are sitting on your couch tonight. Suddenly, the moon stops its orbit. The delicate balance of centrifugal force vanishes. Gravity takes over. The giant gray rock begins a direct vertical plunge toward your living room. This is generally considered a bad evening for most. Initial observations are subtle. The tides simply stop moving. The ocean freezes in place like a giant salty puddle. Then the moon gets larger, much larger. Astronomers realize the orbital velocity is gone. The moon is no longer circling the Earth, it is falling. Within hours, the lunar disk occupies half the sky. Night becomes a bright, terrifying silver. Local governments suggest staying indoors. This advice is largely useless. As the moon descends, gravity becomes selective. The side of the moon facing Earth is pulled harder than the far side. This is the Roche limit. At roughly 2,000 kilometers away, the structural integrity of the lunar crust fails. The moon does not hit the Earth as a single sphere, instead it shatters. Massive chunks of basalt and anorthosite rip apart. 1 trillion tons of lunar debris transform into a glowing, white ring of fire. The atmosphere begins to heat up. Friction turns the falling rocks into incandescent plasma. The sky turns a violent shade of purple. Your house is still there, but the neighborhood is starting to glow. You might think the ring provides a nice aesthetic. It is a lovely view from the window. However, the ring is not stable. Gravity is still pulling every single piece of that shattered moon directly into your backyard. The view is about to improve. The debris enters the atmosphere at hypersonic speeds. Air cannot move out of the way fast enough. The resulting compression creates temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. Every square meter of the atmosphere becomes a blast furnace. Forests ignite spontaneously. Oceans begin to boil from the top down. The sonic booms from trillion-ton boulders arriving at Mach 20 shatter every window on the planet. Concrete turns to liquid. Steel beams evaporate. The air becomes a thick soup of vaporized rock and ionized gas. Breathing is no longer an option as the oxygen is replaced by a searing wind of lunar dust. The planet is essentially being sandblasted by a cosmic pressure washer. Your living room is now a kiln. The couch is gone. You are now a very small, very hot cloud of carbon. The main mass of the moon arrives. The kinetic energy is staggering. It is not a collision so much as a planetary rearrangement. The impact delivers more energy than the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. The Earth's crust ripples like a pond. A shockwave of molten rock surges outward at kilometers per second. Entire continents are pushed aside. The mantle is squeezed, forcing magma to erupt from every fault line simultaneously. The surface of the Earth becomes a global ocean of lava. The atmosphere is blown away into space by the sheer force of the impact. The planet is now a glowing molten marble. All biological records are deleted. Every library, every hard drive, and every singular memory of a Tuesday afternoon is incinerated in a microsecond. The Earth is no longer a home. It is a newly formed, very hot, very angry asteroid. This process is remarkably efficient. There is no longer any need for a weather forecast. The weather is now consistently molten. The molten Earth begins to spin wildly. Centrifugal force flings a significant portion of the liquid crust into orbit. This creates a secondary, smaller ring of glowing magma. Slowly, over millions of years, this debris begins to clump together. Gravity works its magic again. Small pebbles become boulders. Boulders become asteroids. Asteroids merge into a new, smaller moon. This new moon is composed of a mixture of old lunar basalt and vaporized New York City. It orbits the cooling Earth in a stable, rhythmic dance. The surface finally hardens into a dark, glassy obsidian. The atmosphere slowly returns, leaked from the depths of the mantle. It is a thick, toxic haze of sulfur and carbon dioxide. No one is around to complain about the smell. The planet is a blank slate, a sterile, silent rock floating in the void. The cycle of destruction is complete. The universe has effectively reset the Earth to factory settings. There are no cities, there are no taxes, there are no annoying emails. There is only the silence of a dead world and the cold glow of a recycled moon. It is very peaceful. In a universe governed by strict causality, the physics are clear. The moon stopped, the earth melted, and everything vanished. However, this creates a significant legal headache for your home insurance provider. Most standard policies cover fire, flood, and wind damage. They rarely cover total planetary liquidation via lunar impact. Your claim for the destroyed couch is denied under the Act of God clause. The insurance company argues that a stopping moon is a celestial event, not a covered peril. You are now a layer of mineral deposits in a prehistoric stratum. Your existence is a geological curiosity. A future alien archaeologist might find your vaporized remains and conclude that you lived in a very unstable neighborhood. This is a fair assessment of the situation. What happens if the sun decides to take a nap? Find out in the next disaster. Subscribe to the What If Club for more ways to cease existing.